Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing good. This is Jaspal, your host of BitCast, and today we are going to record our episode number 6. And along with me, I have a very dear friend who is the co-founder of DecBC and Blockchain Zoo, Roberto. Hi, Rob. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing all right. Holidaying in Europe, so everything is good now.
Today I can see internet connection is very good. No rain, nothing. Quite a bit of a sunlight I can see at your background.
Perfect. Everything is perfect now.
Yeah, awesome. So Rob, today I'm gonna discuss at a different tangent. So far we have discussed about using technology at an enterprise level. Today I want to take it to the next level, using blockchain at a country level. We have observed many, especially European countries and in Southeast Asia, we have observed in Singapore. Recently, British Blockchain Association has come up with 2030 blockchain vision. Singapore started using blockchain for national identity. UAE is going to the next level. They want to use blockchain to manage the documents and registries at a country level. They want to remove paper altogether from their processes. So how you will see this technology getting adopted at a national level? What is your observation regarding this?
Yeah, it's interesting because on one side is a technical issue, on the other side is a cultural issue, right? So on the technical side, I would say that the issue is how alive, how long has been tested, how long has been trusted the technology to do the step to use it for institutional governative use cases. And on the other side, is the legislator, are the legislator prepared to propose and make laws that support something that is decentralized? Because it's not just to say approving one software rather than another. Is here a mechanics, a system that is completely different. On the other hand, it's also true that using a system like a blockchain open doors to a lot of possibilities, integration, and easy in a big way the flow of procedure inside the country. So it's a choice that is going to arrive, is being implemented already in experimental way in some countries, and I'm happy to see that this is something that is happening nowadays.
Okay, that's nice. According to you, what are the use cases, the situations or the problems which these countries can solve with the help of blockchain?
But one unique thing about blockchain is the fact that you can bridge in and out with data. So if my information is stored in a central server managed by somebody, I depend on the server in order to distribute or go around or do whatever. With a blockchain that is decentralized, the data stay with me and I can put them into the system and change and update them directly. So that's really the big advantage and the game changer. So the way that things are with a decentralized system allow really an easy management of the data, yet 100% authenticated, unique and guaranteed by cryptographic signature, etc. So it is interesting on the practical level, the possibility that this opens.
Okay, yep. And many countries are thinking about using blockchain to manage their documents, their registries, land registries. Even few years back, I do remember Hyderabad back in India, they have done a POC on Hyperledger Fabric to issue land registries on blockchain. How do you see this document management thing being implemented on a blockchain?
Surely, when you start moving to a digital aspect from a paper format, the magic of blockchain is the singularity in the digital world, right? A piece of paper, doesn't matter how many stamps and things can be counterfeited, can be duplicated, and suddenly the same piece of land has 10 certificates that are going to be used to get a loan from 10 different banks until they realize they've been ripped off. while in digital format, I know my daughter in the background is trying to say her opinion on that translation. I apologize. In digital format, this is a unique piece because cryptographically is proven to be just one. So people can add comment, can modify, but cannot duplicate the same ID in a blockchain. This is the big revolution of the blockchain brings, because once from analog we bring to digital, we always being able to make copy of things. I make an MP3 file, I make copies for 10 friends. I have 10 copies of the same MP3 file. With Bitcoin, I cannot make a copy of my Bitcoin and give it to 10 friends because the Bitcoin be no value at all. And the beauty of the blockchain is this fact that can guarantee digital singularity of documents. So it's an amazing tool to avoid and remove all the counterfeiting aspects that are done on paper documents. And is decentralized, so people can use it on their own without having to go through particular offices, etc., following the rules that are written in the blockchain.
Okay. In fact, one thing I would like to share with you, there are many countries, including India, who are trying to solve the problem of digital identity. Yeah. And Singapore has taken to the next level. Estonia also has issued that identity for their citizens on blockchain. Singapore is trying to implement on the blockchain. Considering all of these use cases, what infrastructure, what basic thing that they require? I mean, I'm just, thinking from an implementation perspective. Once you implement blockchain, even at an organization level, at a consortium level, you need to take care of so many things: certificate authority, all the nodes up and running, all these things. When you implement blockchain at a country level, what are the challenges that you will see, and how this massive infrastructure is going to be managed?
Yeah, sure. I don't see it as an incredibly difficult task. Actually, it should be easier and more stronger than any other implementation. Consider that at the country level, there are a lot of sub-level, like districts, provinces, regions, offices. So starting from the capital of the country, you can redistribute servers for practical use, because in those offices, they need the data that are saved in the node. Even if they don't use it actively, they use it passively to read data. So this already creates a network very strong on its own. If it's an open system, then even citizen watchdogs of citizens want to make sure that the government doesn't cheat. They're all gonna need to run nodes, making the network even stronger. So at the end of the day, the more the merrier. And if things are coded properly, it remains a strong system. What is need to be respected is the protocol at the end. So not let's say the software or the nodes or the wallet or whatever it is. Once the protocol is clear, can even be read directly in the data that transit in the phone lines if you want. It's transparent and clear.
Awesome. I mean, it's good to see someone at least saying with the confidence that, according to me, it's an easy implementation. It's not that difficult. So, because we have touched this topic, how DecBC, if I would consider our blockchain platform, our blockchain technology, we always say that this blockchain technology is far more than financial services. Yeah. And when we consider a country level use cases, they are many more. I mean, more than financial services, payments based use cases. How we can play a role in this, and how apt is DecBC blockchain platform for a country level use case?
Absolutely. Think about this. If the blockchain they want to copy is the one of Bitcoin, then every regional county or city office need to be running a mining operation with a lot of electricity consumption and a lot of hardware to compete for what? At the end of the day, just to secure some data that should be secured anyway without having to go through that. if it's a proof of stake that they copy, then they need to distribute the stake of this blockchain around. The citizen have to pay the fees, and doesn't make sense. So what is needed is a technology that is decoupled from cryptocurrency, that remains secure even without having to defend it with millions of dollars of cost, and that has the security based on the participation of the node. So more node participate, the more secure is the system cryptographically, and that's what the DecBC offers. So it's not that DecBC cannot be used with the cryptocurrency, but when used for use cases that don't need or partially need cryptocurrency, the security is not given by a financial aspect, but it's given by the node being there and participating to the network.
Okay, so just repeating in a layman language in order to make our audience understand. So let's suppose if there are 10 departments, sub-departments in a government, they can, at least each of the departments can run their own node. They can share data among themselves, which is of national interest or national relevance. So for an example, I as a person, if my identity is being maintained on a blockchain, all these 10 departments will have one blockchain or a database to refer with respect to my own data, my personal identity. And it is much easier, not just only for the government departments, but even for a resident of that country.
Think about this. If a blockchain for identity is there where the different government agencies fish your data, when you change address, you need to start changing address on your driver license, changing address in your ID card, changing address at every bank where you have an account, changing. If they just refer to your identity and whatever address it is in a blockchain that defines the people identities, it's going to be encrypted for privacy, but they have the key to decrypt it because they are the one you authorize to see your data. You just update the address once, and automatically they're up to date instantly. So
absolutely.
Going around the offices, send letters by 15 days as to get fined, etc., etc. You change the and with the audit also remaining written, which was your address until that day, etc., etc. So it is more practical and more simple and more direct.
Absolutely. I think that's where value is being created, not just only for the supply side, but also for the demand side. Okay. I come to a very important topic now. We talk about technology, use cases, implementation, everything is good, but nothing can happen if we do not have a talent on the ground. So how these countries would solve this problem of educating people, developing this technical talent so that this implementation can take place? I mean, what you would suggest, what model it would work?
I think as has been until today, there are large companies that develop the know-how to offer as a service to whatever client. So no government office is an expert in database systems, but they're going to hire the consultant, they're going to organize the database. I do believe that when it comes to blockchain system, is just a matter of approach. Do they do an open source approach where the citizen can contribute to the development? Depends how much the government trusts their citizen, which is the country, and so on and so forth. But with the correctly vetted mechanics, I think that what is going to be the difference, I think, is not much the infrastructure and the strength of the blockchain, which is going to be, and it's going to grow with time, but it's going to be defined at the starting point. I think are the rules. For example, there where there is a regulation, there has a practical effect on how people process documents. If people vote that the procedure is in a certain way and that gets put in the blockchain so that the transaction has to respond to the specific settings data, then you're going to see a direct implementation of regulation. For example, to get your driver license, you need to be 18 years old. So in order to process the transaction to get the driver license, the other pieces of data that are in the blockchain will be somebody that is an instructor that says that you passed the driving practical test. The application for the theoretical test has been filled in correctly and run from a server that is blah 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 correct. and your ID that is in another blockchain says that you're 18 years old, and automatically, you can get your driver license. Tomorrow, the rule change says you should be 17 years old for a driver license. It's just a matter of modifying the rule in the blockchain by majority vote. People can directly vote for these changes. And then the mechanics works when your ID says that you are 17. So I think that there is also a direct use that people can see. There is the practical aspect of the rule that are implemented, that can be implemented in the blockchain.
Okay. Let me ask you a difficult one. Are you ready to do POC for any government?
I'm ready to do what?
POC, proof of concept, for any government. If somebody would call you, "Hey Rob, we need you tomorrow here."
I'm actually
Are you ready?
discussing in the world of document management to implement a solution. This is something very curious. My first big project for a large company, done with my first business when I was 14 years old, it consisted in the distributing of mail in a digital format from the headquarters to all the people that was working their computer. So the secretary received all the mail at a single address, open the letters, scan the letters, and then assign the document to this person or the person. When they arrive at the office, they see in the inbox. Consider that we're talking about 32 years ago, 33 years ago, so it's a long time ago, was made with Apple Macintosh. And that's something very cool, that people can even discuss a document online by making appear on both people's monitor. And when people underline a word or something, it appears underlined in the other person's monitor, which was pretty neat. And now, the service of digitizing documents is something that is being done constantly. I think Google, with all the books that are digitizing from libraries and so on. Let's think private company, they have a lot of paper material that they want to digitize. These go above the simple having a JPEG file of a page, because there is all the OCR, all the machine learning to extract certain logic from the content. And there is also the aspect of documentation flow that the blockchain can help solve as a mechanics. And that's exactly the discussion I'm having at this moment with a large company that does this as a service. I remember, as an analogy, when digital cameras were coming out, and all the Photoshops around town were making business just with this big machine that was developing the negative film into photos, and none of them updated to do service for digital camera. They all closed down. They all went bankrupt. Only the few that saw that things were changing start putting a couple of computers with Photoshop in their shop and start offering, cleaning up the photo, printing digital photos, survived. In the same way, wherever blockchain or other new technology are arriving, they are changing drastically the way things go. Companies that have been in business for 30 years, offering a service without issue whatsoever, now there is a game-changing, technology coming in. Either they update and adapt themselves to the new technology, or they risk to be cut off from what is to come. In the same way that the photographer didn't understand the digital photography that were coming up. So blockchain is not something. Blockchain is code. Blockchain has no opinion. Blockchain runs when it's a software that run, right? And it's getting adopted more and more. And all the businesses that run around things that are affected by blockchain, they need to update their business model to fit with the blockchain. So smart companies do this, and they pay very well people that is prepared properly, or company that are prepared properly to provide the knowledge, the technology. And
absolutely. So tomorrow, any country can just send you an email, cu@decbc.com. Rob, please come. We need this thing to be done. And here it is on the next flight.
Blockchain Zoo as a company does this as a service, right? We do consulting, we do implementation, we create a custom solution. We have a nice platform that we can propose, but we can also use other platforms that are existing if they make more sense for the specific solution. And absolutely, yes, that's the job we do.
So guys, here is the man. Here is the man for you that you need to contact as soon as possible for your blockchain problems. Good. Well, it's time to take question of our audience. And I know generally we remain focused on blockchain technology, but question is coming from the audience. So Roberto, a very interesting one, even I also want to ask from you. Lot of central banks, many central banks across the world have announced that they are coming up with digital currencies. Okay, that their own digital currencies. And there is a debate going on in a decentralized world. Is it really good or not? Some people are coming up, they are saying that they want to keep an eye on their citizens, where they are spending, how they are spending, and they want to check the spending behavior. Okay, some of the people says no, it is good. It is as per Web3 financial system, supporting that infrastructure, all those things. I want to know an expert opinion from you that how do you see central banks coming up with digital currencies launching on blockchain? Yeah. What is your opinion on that?
CBDC, as it's called, is a big topic. I think that is a good thing. I think that they're doing the right things because they're moving and evolving. I think the analogy, think about blockchain is a peer-to-peer network. Torrent is a peer-to-peer network. Torrent was used to distribute files. Unfortunately, also a lot of piracy and copyright infringement content. When the technology was well used, the major of movies and music, rather than looking at that and saying, look at what technology is there, we can sell our content to the most remote village, we can sell our full library without having to print CDs and other things, and made like a legal version of the peer-to-peer network, let's say legal torrent, where people can actually pay and buy for content without having to go to a music shop or a movie shop, and actually reach content that would be impossible to be found, even traveling for hundreds of kilometers. That would have been the intelligent things to do for them. They would have used the technology with an infrastructure that costs zero because people is maintaining it themselves, and they would have made their income go up a lot. But because they were illiterate in technology, they just lobbied the government to arrest a few kids that were doing piracy, and they didn't stop the system because the system kept running as of today. They look bad with everybody. They didn't earn any sympathy from anybody. And, they just lost, right? They took the wrong approach. Now, digital currency came out. Large financial institutions are in the same position of this major of music and movies when torrent came out. They're doing the right thing. They say, hey, let's play this game. Let's finance research. Let's make us understand that it's the centralized system, how it works. Let's make our own option. And people will be able to choose between Bitcoin or crypto dollar, let's say, that is legally treated by the government. We know that what the government needs, the central banks need to be able to remove from the market capital to print new money. And I doubt they're going to do something that is as clean as Bitcoin, where the number is very well defined, where there is no... They're going to do something that can be used and manipulated in the way that a printing machine that prints banknotes today can do. Is actually saving the money because they're not going to need to print. The counterfeiting of money is going to be much more difficult, impossible, I would say. So I welcome this. Because bring the government one step ahead. People that want to do transaction without being traced by the government, they're gonna use gold ingots, I guess, or currency. So it's not gonna remove the alternatives, in my opinion. So yeah, welcome. I welcome this, and I'm curious to see how transparent they're gonna be. how centralized it's going to be, because they're going to be fully centralized, in my opinion, managed by a single server at the Mint and at the central bank, and people will have no chance to see. There is not going to be block explorer for the central currency of my opinion, but we'll see. I don't know.
Okay, let's see how they will implement. But yeah, I think it's a right thought. We welcome this change. We welcome the adoption of this technology by the central bank. But yeah, implementation is where is the key, and devil is always in the details. So thank you, Rob. Thanks for your time today for episode BitCast 6. And just for the viewers, I will put up the link of our awesome book. If you really want to understand proof of participation, how DecBC platform is going to solve the problems way beyond financial services with the help of blockchain technology, then this is the book for you. The link will be there in the description of this video. You can download or also give the order from Amazon by spending a very small amount, to be honest. And here we are. Our code is available in GitHub. Please download, start using it, start implementing it, and here we are. We need to grow as a community. Thank you, Rob. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jaspal. It's been nice to be here and talk with you.
Same to you. Bye.